It doesn't get any better than this, mate. The conditions are just gorgeous. The anchor rope is slack at the moment, and we are sitting on prime grounds. We've got out to our spots. We're ready to go. How do you feel about this?
Well, I've seen fish on the sounder, and you know what I'm like when that happens. We're floating around in circles. The anchor's not even holding us. We could just about have no anchor today, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's a little bit more than fishing today too. Something is a bit special. We've got a challenge that's been given to us by the Rose and Crown, and that is if we catch 2 fish, a pink snapper and a yellowtail kingfish, just one of each of those species, they're going to donate $500 to charity. The charity that we've chosen is Beyond Blue. So mate, it's just pumping us even more and more to catch these fish, isn't it?
I've never been so hungry to catch 2 species in my life. And also, I want to cook some nice food today, so we have to do it to be able to make this segment work.
Yeah, look, the exciting thing about all this is we are fishing for our favourite fish, we've got the challenge involved, and we're going to get a great feed at the end of it.
And let's not forget, look at what we're fishing on. What a platform.
Yeah, we're with Scotty from Fury. He's built this boat. He's showing us through it today. I can't wait, mate. Let's get some fishing in.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's do this. Alrighty, Matty, so we're out here. What's the plan other than obviously catching fish?
Well, mate, it's the same story inshore. There's nothing spectacular about what we do. Keep it simple. You know, when we're around the shallow grounds, we need to be anchored and burling. The reason for that, if we're drifting, every time we fire a motor up or every time that anchor chain comes up, we're creating noise. Yeah. So all of that effort putting burley in the water, you're going to scare the fish away. In this case, the fish aren't on the bite yet. So we're getting nibbles, we're seeing fish on the sounder. What we're trying to do is get these baits and plastics into that burley trail and fool them. It's a piece of burley. We want them to eat it. We want to strike. When they come on the bite, we can then be more active and have more fun. So it's really a boring game at this point. It'll fire up. If it doesn't, we get one move, because bite time doesn't last very long metro waters. We just go to another spot, anchor up, and go hard. Yeah, we're actually got a fish on. We're on, run! Go, bro! Look at that cat. What do you reckon? What are you feeling?
I think I'm pulling, doesn't even feel like a fish. I think I'm pulling out half of Australia.
Really?
I've got a port or something.
Oh, you've got a knocky?
Oh, a knocky. Yeah. Watch out, watch out. I told you I was bringing him on board.
Mate, you nearly got me eaten by an octopus to start. It's a good size ockie too, by the way.
Look, he's not going back.
Oh. Turn on, brake. On.
Oh, there's a snapper.
Go, mate.
There we go.
Well, this might be, if we're lucky, Cap, this might be species number 1 out of the 2.
Let's hope so.
I mean, it's not big, but they didn't say anything about size, did they?
There was no limitations. Hang on, I'm getting hit here. Unless I've got you.
This could be a skippy though, mate. I'm not feeling snapper. Oh
yeah,
no,
I've got you.
It's a solid skippy, I'm not disappointed.
It is a solid skip.
And the good thing about that is these are absolutely amazing in nummus, aren't they?
They're amazing, yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to get this thing in a nummus mix, I reckon. Are you going to show us how to make that later, or are we just going to put it in the mix?
I think it'd be mad not to.
Right, Scotty, we're in the middle of the fog. Are you worried about pirates at all, mate? I mean, this is a pretty flash rig.
Oh yeah, mate, definitely. There's pirates out here. They'll be in this storm for sure.
We did hear a couple of foghorns going off, so mate, even the ships are worried at the moment.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, good fish. Big fish. Yeah, mate. Someone grab this blue right here. We'll get that one in. That's a big fish.
All right, here we go. This is what we waited for. I reckon that fog just got him excited. What do you think?
I think so, mate.
All right, I'm trying to talk you through it, but I'm trying not to lose the fish as well.
Well, I'm going to go straight to the back because we don't want to lose this one, mate.
I've got some nice head shakes. I can see colour. It looks long.
Could be a kingy.
Could be a kingy.
Oh, it's a good fish. Really good fish.
And you know what's really special if it is? It's one of our target species.
Let's have a look. Sambo.
Is it a sambo?
And you can't be disappointed, mate, because how much fun a sambo.
I love catching sambos. You tail him for me?
There we go.
Oh, pass him
Look,
here.
a lot of people call them pests, but on inshore waters, don't get any better.
I've always been a sports fisherman and they've been close to my heart. I just love catching them. In this shallow water, they go nuts. And what a weird backdrop.
Yeah, it's eerie fishing in this fog.
It's absolutely bizarre.
Sort of feels like you're going to get your pockets picked, or a ye oldie ship is going to roll in over the horizon.
It's foggier than my head was last Sunday.
We can keep going with the puns all day, couldn't we?
Well, there you go. He's only a little rat, but he was good fun and had me fooled for a kingy. So let's get him back.
Let's get him back.
Let's get another one.
It shines so I'm believing on winter's day.
Very convenient, Kep. I've got to get this fish in the esky, mate, and look where you're standing.
Oh, sorry to be such a bother.
Well, you should be. Get off.
I'm trying to look for pirates. Leave me alone. Something's having a bit of a look. I'm just trying to feed it.
It's a pretty important thing we do, Kep. In brim fishing especially, if they're not hard on the bite, you've really got to give them a bit, don't you? Yeah. Like you said, pink brim. Pinkies are no different. If they're not hard on the bite, like we're experiencing right now, there could be a huge, like this here. It could be a bigger fish than you think. This one isn't.
But that was a good example.
That was a good example of what happens, yes. It goes from a tiny bite to all of a sudden something a bit more substantial. More Skippy. Oh look, I don't get disheartened about Skippy. Oh, this is really convenient. We're just gonna give this a couple of seconds.
Got a couple of fish here, mate.
There we go. Oh, that's an absolute corker.
I think I prefer what you've got, to be honest.
Oh, I don't know, mate. That's class. That's what we call the pig. Yeah, we've got to pull one line in. Got a little project for you, Kep. Good luck.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Really important when you're burling, guys, to keep a steady flow going. Now, just before, Kep and I were having a bit of a muck around, a bit of a relax. The trail broke for all of 3 minutes, and the action that we're seeing stopped really fast. The issue is, when you got a really fast moving current, like we've got at the moment, those fish can just keep going with that last little bit of burley and disappear into either another burley trail or onto a patch of bait. So make sure you keep onto your burley.
Oh, hook. Good fish
Oh,
too.
good fish.
Oh, I haven't got a great deal of line on this. I don't want to get done.
Is he on the bottom? Was that hooked on the bottom, Kep? Right. He's moving.
Oh.
Guys, it's really quiet.
Fish on.
Fish on? Oh, lovely. There's nothing better than about to call the quiet stage of the day, mate, and you hook
Only
up.
little. I thought it was good for a bit because it just felt so heavy.
Oh, yeah, you worry. Look, Kep, if nothing else, mate, don't worry about cooking snapper. These are one of my favourite eating fish, and that's a very good size break sea cod.
Yep. Well, it's definitely a keeper, yeah. But one of the most delicious little specimens in the ocean.
I agree with you.
Matty's not running any hooks today. He's just running a plastic on a piece of metal.
I painted the hook on.
He's hoping the fish will just grab the tail and hold on. A really handy tip with these jigs. They're a slow flutter jig. This one in particular is used for both high speed and slow, but I mainly use it for slow. As it falls, it flutters, and generally as you lift it, they hit it on the drop or they hit it on the pause. Not so much on the lift, or except for when you're chasing the high speed species. And a really good tip for jigging with them is, as you send them down, make sure you feather the line so you can feel any bumps. I just got a bump before on the way down, so I knew there was a fish around. Now just feather that right to the bottom. Once it reaches the bottom, you close the bail arm. A couple of lifts, pause, lift, pause, lift, and then sometimes I'll hold it for 5 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hope for a hit. If not, drop back down or come up another 10 meters through the water column and just keep it within that 10 meters, 15 off the bottom. Ready? Oh. He was there. It was a good bite, yeah. Felt like a dewy. Yeah, the boys.
You land this, mate. Don't worry about the boys. Get this up in the box. That's a good fish.
Good fish. So I was just feathering my line down, fold the bail arm over on the jig, and got walloped.
This is a good fish. You can see the weight in it, which is really, it's a good feeling after
It's a great feeling.
a morning of not such big fish.
Oh, turned it. I can see some colour actually.
Okay, I'm gonna get ready to land this.
Oh.
Big Jewy. Well, decent Jewy, Kev. Now, mate, of all species, not to be the target, that's the one we wanted, Legend.
Losing, yeah.
For anyone at home, don't gill grab these things, okay? I've literally just got my hand on the plate. The reason why, it's razor blades inside there. But Kev,
He's got trapped up nicely.
it's almost like a Chinese finger trap. They don't let your
It is.
fingers go. Just gonna get some line out. Anyway, let me just grab this rod and reel.
Well, there you go. I just put one of the slow pitch jigs down and yeah, a couple of jigs off the bottom and a nice dewy. I mean, he's going to definitely get slabbed up and I think he might make the dish at the moment. We'll just see what happens.
Well, look, mate, if we don't end up hitting targets, we have some good fish on board. So at least we've got a good cook up. We've got a great feed for later.
That's great.
None of that's getting wasted.
And what a fun time it is just jigging up at fish.
Absolutely.
Cheers,
Great
man.
stuff, mate.
Well, we pretty much had it all today. We had a big fog storm roll over and that made it pretty interesting and a bit eerie. And then as we made our way through to Rotto, it pretty much fined up and we've been having a bit of a play out here. Banged a dewy. Real sweet.
Well, you did, mate, and you did really well, because to get it on the big jig,
Yeah.
that's always a satisfying feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, they love those jigs.
They do. Well, mate, look, we didn't hit the target species, which guts me, because we're not going to be able to donate the money this time round. However, that's going to push us harder and harder for this next challenge.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pity and we definitely fought hard for it. Something we'd normally catch and we couldn't find them. We caught everything else.
Well, normally it's our bread and butter.
Absolutely.
So, look, the good news is we've got two absolutely first-class eating fish in the box,
Yep.
which you're going to turn into an incredible meal. So
Yeah.
what I think we need to do is go find a setting on that amazing island right there called ROTTNEST Island, pull up, set up, cook a meal.
Let's just chuck a couple of lures out the back on the way there, just in case.
You never know. Let's do it.
Well, here we are. Come on, little mate, come over here. I've got to show everyone you. Oh, Jesus. Welcome to ROTTNEST. We've got stingrays everywhere, pelicans, and we've just set up a really cool station to have a cook. Today I'm planning on doing a nummus, which is a broom dish. They use it for the pearl meat. A lot of the Asian pearl farmers came over, showed the Aboriginals. It became a real Northern Territory top-end dish. I'm also going to cook up the jewfish, which I just happened to catch just over there somewhere. How cool is that? It doesn't get any better. So we've got some really fresh fish, really fresh ingredients. A lot of them I have already pre-chopped up just to make it a bit quicker. I'm going to start taking you through those now. So I'm going to start off with the nummus. Now, nummus in general has vinegar to cure the fish. So the vinegar cures the fish sort of like ceviche does, and you can put a bit of lime in there too. We basically want enough vinegar that it's going to cover the fish that we put in there. But if I was to talk recipe amounts, we're going to go about 1.5 cups straight into the bowl. Yep, that'll be enough. We also need some fresh lime. All right. Ooh, that knife is a razor. So fresh lime straight into the bowl. That's when you find out if you've cut your hands fishing earlier, and I did. So that's nice. But we're going to put the lime straight in. Now those two acids will cook the fish, and that's why we're doing that. Also for the beautiful flavour and acidity that comes from nummus naturally. All right, so we've got our fresh lime in there. would say probably about 90 ml of lime. I've got some minced garlic here, straight in. Some chopped red onion. We need some brown sugar. We'll say a moderate amount. We're going to try and sweeten up the acidity of the vinegar a little bit. So the brown sugar straight in. I have here also some kaffir lime all sliced up and some star anise. Put that straight in. And it just depends on how you like your nummus. I like mine hot. So I've got some diced chili, some sliced. That's going to go straight in to give it a little bit of heat and also for a bit of flavour. All right, so that's all together. We're going to mix that in the bowl and try and get all the sugar mixed in. And you could give it a bit of a taste. You're basically looking for enough sweetness to make sure that the vinegar isn't bitey, but you want to make sure that the vinegar is the prominent flavour. Yeah, okay, beautiful. And a lot of heat. Whew. Hello. One of my favourite dishes to have raw would be skippy, but for this one we're going to cook it a little bit. It comes out amazing. I don't think he's in frame right now, but Mr. Pelican is very hungry and would love a bit of this skippy. He's waiting for his turn to have some nummus. Fish straight into our bowl. Lay it all out. Pour our nummus mix straight over the top. And that just needs to be mixed up for a second. And you just have to wait. And about 10 or 15 minutes for the cure on that. Needs time to start turning sort of white and opaque, and when you bite into it, it will be cooked all the way through and white all the way through when it's finished. It needs a little bit of time, so while that cures, I'm going to get on and make our mains dish. So, just going to get this pan on the heat. We're going to do an entree and main basically today. So, what I'll do is I'll get this lovely slab of dewey. I'm just going to get the piece that I like the most. Nice thick slab like that. Put that to the side. Give old Mr. Pelican a bite. There you go, mate. And just like anything, a bit of salt to flavour up the fish. Get that on there straight away. Let that sit for a second. Crepes are a fantastic way to start off a fish dish. They're really simple. If you haven't made one, don't be scared. It's just like making a pancake without sugar, and it doesn't have the rising elements in it. So for my crepe today, I'm going to go 1 cracked egg. I have here a cup of milk. I have some flour. Put a good amount of salt in. Okay, and a bit of fresh dill. So the dill is just going to give the crepe that beautiful finish. I mean, dill goes so well with fish anyway, but it also gives the crepe a nice colour. We'll get our whisk. It's just incredible. I'm sitting here whisking up a crepe and I have a stingray at my foot. Unbelievable. I don't think I've ever had this happen before on a show. All right. So that makes our batter, basically. It's that easy. Crepe mix into the center of the pan. And we'll spread it around the pan, because it's going to be folded up later. So they won't take very long, a couple of minutes. Just want to get a bit of a golden finish on each side. And you can just start lifting the edge of the crepe and seeing how it's going. This one's just starting to cook up now nicely. So with the crepe, pick it up and give it a flip. They're normally fairly strong and they'll hold together. Just get the other side cooked through, nice and golden, so that you can roll it up with the goat's curd when you're finished. And I'm going to reheat this crepe very shortly, so I won't cook it any more than that. Lift the crepe straight onto the pan. And while we're doing that, let's get our fish straight on while the pan's hot, because that's going to take about 12 to 15 minutes, depending on how thick your fish is. This is quite thick. We're going to just take the yolks out of this to make a hollandaise. So we'll split out the yolks. And I think 3 yolks for the little hollandaise that we're going to make will be plenty. Okay, now the same vinegar that we were using earlier is what we're going to use to bind up our hollandaise. Little dash of that in there. And give it a nice whisk. What we can actually do is slide this snapper over a touch. And I'm going to just use the corner of this pan to make my sabayon. Now what the sabayon is basically a egg and vinegar emulsion, and it will help hold the butter. When I add the clarified butter to it, which I have just sitting on the front of the table there, it will thicken up and it makes our beautiful butter sauce. It's a little bit of a cheating way to do it, but you can do it over a water bath is generally the easiest way, or straight over a flame if you can control it nicely. The only thing is you've got to keep it moving, because if you don't, you're going to end up with scrambled eggs. As you can see, my sabayon's thickened up nicely, and you need it to be basically like an aioli. If you don't do that, it'll split and you won't get the product you're after. You'll end up with a sauce that's all grainy and just doesn't work. So we've got our melted butter here. We're just going to add that in little dribs. And you can see that coming together already into a lovely thick sauce. And that is enough already. Whoops. So we just need to add some more chopped chives that I have here into our lovely hollandaise. So it's just going to be a chive hollandaise. And I'm going to add a little bit of lime just to finish it. Not too much, because again, it will split. And there you go. You can see that's a nice, easy hollandaise. Only thing it's missing, actually, before I forget, like anything, bit of salt. Season everything, guys. All right, fantastic. Just pop that there. Now, that's finished. The crepe's finished. How is this fish looking? That's the big question. Oh, just smells amazing. I'm just going to add a little bit of extra butter into this now. And just let it bubble away. All right, so we're going to just let this cook now for about 6 minutes, and then I'll put the rest of this dish together. Okay, we're getting to the pointy end now. We've got a bit of asparagus that we need to grill off. So I'm just going to put that in the butter there with the fish. Give that a bit of time to really caramelise up. Our little crepe here that's got the dill through it is ready to go. I'm just going to put some goat's curd in that and get that ready now. And we can even roll this now. We're just stuffing it basically. I don't have all my tools with me. We're cooking on set, but we're cooking on ROTTNEST Island straight after a fishing segment. So we're going a little bit impromptu. Now I'm going to roll up this crepe, and that's pretty much ready to go. I'm going to give that another quick pan just before we serve it. So while this is all finishing up, I've got some lovely fresh mango here to finish this nummus. Okay. And we're going to add this mango straight into the nummus just to finish it. Fresh mango straight in. It's just gonna, it's gonna go in a bit later rather than the beginning, because otherwise the mango will just fall apart from being cooked. But the nummus dish, you can see that the fish is starting to turn white and it's almost there. I'd say by the time that this fish is cooked, we will be good to go. All right, it's time to start taking the nummus out of the mix now. Fresh, couple of hour old nummus, done in the classic style with a couple of modifications. Bit of fresh coriander on top, and that's dish number 1 done. Absolutely gorgeous, you can't go wrong. Now, the crepe needs to just go back onto the flat top for a second and warm back up with the rest of the dish. The asparagus is almost there, and the fish is just starting to get the little white dots on the side, and that's actually protein coming out of the fish. It's a good indication that it's almost finished. The crepe looks gorgeous. The goat curd inside will be starting to melt, which is what you want. You're going to cut into it. It's going to ooze a little bit along with the hollandaise and everything else. The other beauty about just grilling the crepe quickly like this is it now holds together nicely. So that's going to go straight onto the middle of the plate. Bit of our grilled asparagus. Pop that there for a second. Okay, and the final step is our hollandaise. Dill hollandaise, a little bit of citrus, straight over the top. I got some fresh dill, some chopped chives, bit of spring onion. And I don't think it matters where you are, what restaurant you're at. You could say that that was restaurant quality. I reckon we get the boys over to decide though. Thanks for watching. Mate.
Lunch. Yum, yum, yum.
See you later. Well, there you go. That's the end of the cooking episode. Hey boys, you want to come over and try some of this stuff or what? Well, just watch the stingray. He's not that dangerous.
Pretty friendly. It's almost impossible not to slip, mate. The fact that you just cooked this in the water is pretty special. You had a bit of a nightmare.
I had trials, I had tribulations, but we got there. I've cooked it, and I want you guys to come and eat some.
We've got to try this because the smell back at the Fury right now is just ridiculous. First of all, before we go any further, Scott Fury, thank you so much, mate.
No worries,
that was
mate.
an incredible
Thank
day
you,
on
mate.
the water.
Legend.
No worries.
Champion.
Porky, thanks so much for joining us,
No
mate.
worries, it's been a pleasure, boys.
Cheers, mate.
Great day on the water. Hey, let's get into this food. It's absolutely amazing.
Go for it, boys.
All right, let's get a
Calories
fork.
there.
Forks
Oh, yeah.
all around.
Thank you.
Scotty, grab one of them, mate.
I'm going to go and play with my mate.
Come here, buddy. Oh my gosh. Can't believe you outdone yourself.
Beautiful.
Absolutely cooked to
You're a
perfection.
magician, Kepler.
That's all that matters, guys. What's pretty special is
Wow.
catching it just over there and then putting it right here for a
Swap
sort of
round. Boys, get around.
Beautiful.
Mm.